Why, hello there, you mother, father, sister, brother, you. Welcome to the LAYT podcast. Yeah, I'm doing a little intro. This is something different. I recorded the podcast just a second ago, and I thought to myself, you know what? I want to do something before the podcast where I just go over what we're going to be talking about today. So maybe, maybe you have a little idea what's happening, right? Maybe you have a little idea. Well, starting out today, we're going to be talking about a couple different topics, specifically the background and whatnot, but we go into poker and we go into Vegas today. I talk a little bit about traveling to Vegas and hanging out with the Team Crafted guys. That was the first time I'd ever been to Vegas. I talk about the funny ways I've tried to like play the Vegas system and fucking like get a hotel room upgrade or whatever, just some dumb bullshit I thought I knew how to do or thought I was suave enough to do. It's Vegas is a fun spot. Poker is a fun topic, and we kind of touch on both today. I'm happy I got to talk about some of that Team Crafted stuff as well, man. Like thinking about going go-karting with those dudes or being in the lobby of Adam's hotel and singing some Fly Me to the Moon stuff because there's this one area in the foyer that like reflected off the roof really well. Just a bunch of silly shit like that, man. Like silly little moments running around. It was a great time. I'm happy I talked about it today. I'm happy I got into that a little bit. It's been a good one, man. 10 episodes of the LAYT podcast. Talk about that as well, and however many of the vlog series. But I just want to say again, thank you if you've been listening or watching either on YouTube or over on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. I really appreciate it, y'all. I've been having fun getting to learn how to do this, learn what I enjoy about this, and what I need to do more of, even if I don't enjoy it. Right? I'm looking forward to the future. Looking forward to what I can show y'all, talk about, and where I can take this podcast. Did really quickly want to say to make sure to check us over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Dr. Q, DOQTOR QUEUE, playing survival games of different sorts, survival crafting games of different varieties, as well as, a little Minecraft here and there. There's some story mode games. We kind of hit everything. I like to hit some suggestions. But come and check us out, man. Playing some video games or hanging out. Sometimes we just chat, we just hang out. Also going to be doing some physical stuff soon where I'm actually going to be trying to work out on stream and whatnot. I don't think I talk about that on the podcast here, but that is something that's coming as well. I'm going to be doing some physical live streams focused just more on being healthy because I haven't been doing that lately, like actually moving around, and that's something I want to do more. I fucking love it. Either way, though, I want to say a huge thank you to y'all for stopping by. If you haven't yet, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, notify, hit the notification button for all the notifications. Do what I dare you, or else I'll punch you, or I dare you, or something. I don't know. I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. This is the LAYT podcast. Let's get right into it. Take it away, Dr. Q. Whoa. 3, 2, 1. If you're wondering what I'm doing on the YouTube video, it's trying to get a good screen grab for the thumbnail. I just realized I don't have any light here. Fuck, 1 second. Holy shit. I just want to look weird. Alrighty, there we are. Aha! Hoo-hoo! Woo! Oh, Jesus. I keep forgetting there's a shelf right behind me. I suppose I should start off. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the LAYT podcast. My name is Quentin Juno. This is episode number 10. Wow. It has been a trip. It has been an adventure so far. That's 10 episodes of the LAYT podcast, and I can't remember how many of the vlog series. What a blast. I have started out, aiming for some different goals with the podcast, not realizing that, well, It's just like everything else where whatever you start out with, those first ideas are something you got to make sure are malleable, you know? They can change real easy. And that's what we have been doing. Hey, we've been changing. We've been doing new things. We got new stuff going on. Well, Bamba Bamba, look at the, hey, wah, sa, ya, ya, ya. We look great over here. And I hope we're sounding fantastic. We should be sounding even better than before, considering it sounds a little silly, but hey, I made one upgrade, which actually makes me really happy, and that I didn't think would make a big change. I upgraded the cable for the microphone, which I didn't think was a big issue. But cheap cables give you a lot of interference, I guess. It makes sense. Cheap shit don't work so hot compared to good shit. I just realized the masks are down from up top. I originally had some masks up top here. I just saw them over there. I guess we must have got into them. I couldn't even remember that. That's dope. Hey, what's going on with the background? Hey, we've been adding some new stuff to it recently. I added these Nikes that were originally supposed to be my gym shoes. These motherfuckers I was gonna work out in, feel good in, and move around in a whole bunch. Now they're motherfucking display units. That's what I'm rocking right now. We got some display Nikes. What the motherfuck? I can't, whatever. It's one of those things where it was right before everything started happening. So now I just got some nice Nikes to display, I've been thinking of adding in some other shoes, but what I want to do, it sounds a little silly. I want to actually hang a fucking like a shoe rack on the wall and then put the shoes up there and have it be kind of a display thing. I think that'd be a lot of fun. We got a bunch of ideas for what's going around here, but I wanted to actually start out with something that's on the wall over here. I wanted to talk a little bit about this over here. You might notice it. You might have noticed it at one point or another. It's hard to see, but what it is a little thank you from a company called Poker Stars, specifically this thing called I think they're calling it the Touch program, Poker Stars Touch, which sounds Poker Stars Touch, like poke and touch. The more you say it, I'm questioning. But I had a great time being a part of the process, man. It was an interesting idea where they were trying to connect up some influencers along with poker players to make some content and be a part of this whole series. There was I couldn't even remember if I was required to do much other than like be a part of the thing, like show up on time and be a part of this little poker tournament. But that all happened because I had just been really active with poker on my YouTube channel and Twitch and all of that. Because for me, poker and gambling, and specifically, it sounds a little silly, but Las Vegas itself have all been like these interesting little parts of my life. And for one reason or another, that's kind of where I want to start today. I want to talk a little bit about Las Vegas. And that place has been an interesting spot for me. I don't know if anyone has been out there, but when you hop off the airplane, hopefully you're arriving at night, because there's just this effect that happens when that plane door opens and you got to go that little gap. You got to go the gap from the plane to like the air conditioned airport area, right? There's that little gap where you can feel just a little hint of what's to come, and it's like the devil is just like farting right down your neck with heat, just right down your neck, just a wave of heat. And that's just a whisper of what's to happen, okay? Because what it is you then walk through this beautiful airport. One thing that always kind of made me giggle was, for one reason or another, there's a famous watch company that sponsors or is just on all of the watch faces, or all of the clock faces, the big watches on the wall, those things. On all the clock faces, there's a major watch company who I don't need to fucking say their name. Everybody knows what a fucking a Rolly Don't Tick Tock, etc. They sponsor, you get it. Big old clocks on the wall all say Rolly Don't Tick Tock, Rolex, etc. It just always struck me as a little weird. It has all these, it's just luxury, right? It's a beauty. It's air conditioned. It's so nice in there. You grab your luggage and you're thinking, all right, all I have to do is go outside, There's going to be a fucking taxi that I can hopefully wait for there. Or maybe maybe I already have a vehicle prepared to pick me up. You know, maybe I'm lucky that way. But you get out those fucking doors and you have just stepped into it. You are in the oven. If you've never experienced like a desert heat before, a desert day heat in the fucking summer, it's beautiful. I don't know what it is, but I love being baked. You know, it gives me a good feeling on the inside, especially when you get to go from like cool area, air conditioned, and then you go into a taxi, air conditioned, of course. Hopefully you don't go in a taxi, man. Those motherfuckers are always going to try to take you one way or another, scam you, etc. But that's just a little bit of the flavor. A part of the allure of Las Vegas is that you have to do your research before you go to Vegas, or else you might get took by the city. You know what I'm saying? There's people around. There's money around. There's money involved. People are going to try to take your money. One of the common ways they try to take your money is they will try to take you a way that is technically faster, but ends up putting more miles on the meter. You dig? So you end up with a like $40 bill as opposed to like a $20 taxi bill. They double up on you. And because you're a tourist, you've never been there before, you don't know, hey, we're going to take the tunnel. It's going to be a lot faster. Is that a good idea? Person in the back? First time there, you're like, a tunnel? I fucking love being in the dark. I was just in a really small tunnel for like a bunch of hours, and now we're out here. So let's go in another fucking tunnel. Hell yeah, I'm down. I'm down with the tunnels. Let's do it. I'm a fucking mole person. Let's do it. And you don't realize it's just costing you money. It's taking money out your pocket. I had this funny idea in my mind. Maybe it still works. Maybe it just depends on whether you're a you seem like the right type of person or not, but never worked for me. The only thing that ever worked, well, let me go first to what I tried to do. So I did my research on Vegas. I saved myself from the tunnel, whatnot. I remember getting to the hotel for the first time when I booked my first hotel. And I had heard you gotta like bring a 20 with you and like slip it to them while you're like reaching for the room key or something. Like there's some way you have to hand them a 20 before you get the room finalized, right? So that they can then you ask them, hey, is there any better room? Any rooms with a view? Thinking that this little $20 bill is going to be better than simply just saying, oh, hey there, funny question, but when I booked the room, this was the current deal. Are there any specials available? Or is there anything that might become available during the weekend that I might be able to move to? That type of thing. Because, hey, something might happen, and then they just might think of you and think, oh, you know what? I need to fill that room for tonight, but I don't think anyone's going to be showing up. Let me just move that one person over. We'll fill up blah, 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 da, 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 da. You know what I'm saying? You could solve a problem for them instead of being a problem. Instead of handing them $20 and being like, yeah, now find me a better room than my queen that's down on the fucking 4th floor. Get me into that suite. It's like, you just got to be a little smart about it. Well, I had different ideas at first. I slid the 20 after I already had my room key. This is a tip. And they're like, oh, what's this? And I'm like, oh, that's a tip. And are there any better rooms available? And they're like, well, you haven't even seen your room. You have your key. You should go and see your room before you maybe you should try to take a look at your room before you ask for an upgrade. There's some sort of very polite way that this individual told me to go and take a look at the room. And that's all I need to hear. I just went up to the room. I mean, I of course was trying to get a better room, but I went up to the room. I get up there, and then like the blinds move on their own. There's on the TV. It says my name. The whole shenanigans. Fucking blew my mind. I was in love, and that was like my 3rd time in Vegas. I was already in love by that point, but that was just like, oh my God, that was a blowjob on the 2nd date, just like, oh wow. Yep. I think there might be a ring involved later. You know what I'm saying? There's something happening here. First time I ever went to Vegas. First time I actually ever went there. Well, this is, it kind of ties into the whole idea of LAYT and the life after YouTube thing, right? Because the first time I ever went to Vegas was actually to go and meet the Team Crafty guys. I think I was either 20 or 19. I was underage to be drinking and like doing gambling in most of the casinos. I mean, they wouldn't really ID you. That's just one thing about Vegas. I mean, as long as you act the part for gambling, like, here's the thing. If you want to cash out a large win, you have to verify your age. I mean, how are you going to get that money out of there that you just had that big win for if you're 19 years old? I don't know what's happening here. I'm sure you'll get carded. There's a whole thing, right? There's a whole thing. But I remember being underage. I think I even got my passport. Either it was a combination of going to Las Vegas, and also I wanted to travel to see a girl I'd been talking to online, that whole thing. And I remember getting to Vegas. I remember seeing our manager standing there wearing typical manager hat. You know, this motherfucking fedora, black fedora, looked like he just got it down at Staples. Fucking it's just the combination of a black dress shirt, not a black dress shirt, sorry, a black undershirt, and then a dress shirt that's really wide and open. I don't know what it is, but it just makes me think you must wear cargo pants, right? And yeah, cargo shorts. It's cargo shorts. We see this dude, and it was like the start of the adventure, right? I remember seeing we were all kind of meeting up there. All of us were meeting together. I don't know exactly what we were trying to do, but we were in the Luxor, and we were all meeting up for the first time. I think we were going to go out to eat, something like that, right? Everyone had arrived at different times, of course. I think some people even have vlog footage up, which is fucking awesome. Should make sure to check that out if you do. We arrived there, and we're I just remember being it was in a weird time where there was weather in Las Vegas. I know that's something funny to stick in your head, but most of the time when I had been in Las Vegas, there really wasn't weather. There was maybe twice out of like I don't know, 10 times, 15 times I had been there, and that was usually during the summer, and it was raining, right? We all pack into this Suburban. I think we were heading out to meet some sort of lunch thing, right? And we're trying to go off of the freeway. We're merging around a pretty like windy kind of corner, driving in a Suburban. And our manager is fucking flying like he always did, especially when he's driving in a motherfucking Suburban. I have stories about that. And we start hydroplaning. We start skidding sideways, baby, on an overpass, or like merging off of an overpass on a nice sharp corner. Ugh. It could have been the end of Team Crafted before it ever was. You know what I'm saying? Fucking really had Jerome all over the dashboard. And he was right in the very back. My lord. It was danger. Danger all around. A few other times that we ended up getting in some sort of vehicular speed moment, so to speak, but those are other times in other cities, you know? I don't remember too much related to driving around with those dudes other than being just jam-packed in whatever vehicle we were going. I want to say we ended up stopping by some souvenir shop that was next to like the largest sex shop in the world or something. You know, it tried to advertise itself that way. I really wish we would have followed through on the idea to get I think it was like a 4 foot long pink dildo, and we were gonna like double ended, and there's some lightsaber ideas involved. There was like videos, you know, we were thinking of. Unfortunately, those ideas fell through. You know, it's just a matter of life, you know. Sometimes you don't pull the trigger when you should, right? I think we were meeting out a few different people who were in the area. There was some sort of Minecraft server or something related to Minecraft servers. They were in town. They wanted to meet us and take us out to a nice dinner, which was fucking cool. I was like, yo, about to be wined and dined. I've never been wined and dined by anybody who isn't a family member, and it isn't like you. I have to do this because you're here as like the son of my fucking brother or sister, rather, that type of thing. I've never been wined and dined in my life. I've been wined and dined once on my 10th birthday by my mom, who took me out on this great seafood dinner date. It was fucking awesome. I got to have like a virgin margarita and shit like that. I got to try out all this like different seafood I'd never had before, being up in the northern parts of this little part in Alberta, Canada, just out in the middle of nowhere. That had been the first time I'd been wined and dined, and the second time was in motherfucking Las Vegas, and we're going to Picasso, which is a restaurant that has Picassos on the wall. You know how fucking intimidating that is to try to like, oh yes, this is a dog liver that has been soaked in moose fat and dripped in blah blah blah, and our chef kissed it before it was seared, so it had the perfect seal of perfection, and it's like, and there's $40 million worth of paintings in front of me, bitch, huh? And at the same time, the great thing, because this restaurant's at the Bellagio, is that there's the Bellagio fountain right there. And yeah, fountain shows. That sounds like a weird sex thing. No, there's a giant fountain and this huge water, shoots everywhere. It's craziness. It's like, it's like every time you ran through the sprinkler as a child, magnified by 10. If you ran through a sprinkler as a child and you were also on ecstasy, that's what the Bellagio fountain show is like. It's insane comparatively, especially while you're eating foie gras from the French lines of the mountain of Champagne de Pâté. Like, what the fuck? I don't really like the idea of foie gras anymore. I found out later after finding it's some of the most delicious, melt in your mouth, just ugh, some of the most delicious meat you could ever have in your life. But the reason is because it comes at a cost. I mean, they fucking force feed a motherfucking duck, stuff that bitch full for its life so its liver stays full, strap it down so it can't move, so it stays all super fatty. And the ducks like have fatty liver and shit, and that's why it's so delicious, because it's a fatty liver. But that's a disease. You know how people get fatty liver? From drinking themselves until they are about to die. Like, what the fuck? And we're doing this to like geese because, like, yo, there's a real cool fountain and I want to eat that duck liver beside the cool fountain, please. It's also really tasty though. I mean, it's really fucking tasty. If you get the chance for foie gras and you're a meat eater, if you can eat it after knowing that, I mean, give it a fucking shot. It's pretty tasty. I tried whale once when we were in Norway. It wasn't whaley good, but I don't know. It didn't, it filled me, I guess. It was all right. It was kind of rubbery. I don't get it. I don't get it. All right. Let's restart the cameras. Just had to blow out a candle. It's in front of me here. Got the area set up, and I just want it to smell really nice. I don't know about y'all, but for me, smells are important. I need the smells to be proper in my area. It doesn't have to smell really good, but it has to smell clean at least, you know? I like there's a difference between a good smell and a clean smell, right? Like clean, sometimes it's a hospital. Sometimes there's a smell of a hospital that's clean, but there's nothing good about the smell of a hospital. The smell of a hospital is the context of the smell of a hospital just diminishes it. As much as it needs to be a place of healing, the smell of the hospital to me is always just a smell of I don't know about y'all. Not a great smell, but it's a clean smell. I don't know. I could kind of deal with a hospital smell out here. It doesn't smell like a hospital out here. I'm kind of going on this hospital thing for a bit, but it smells clean, and I like that. I really need to get a giant area rug for here, but this is, I think right now I'm veering off course a little bit because I was veering off course a little bit there, and that's all right. I was wanting to talk more about Vegas and poker and all that type of thing, and started talking down kind of a food path and whatnot. And I was like, where's this going? All right. That Vegas trip, actually, that trip to Picasso, one thing that was so rememberable, Fucking hell. One thing that was so memorable about that trip to Picasso was beforehand, as a group, we decided to make a trip to, I want to say Men's Warehouse, some sort of just a suit place out in Las Vegas. It was in a subdivision, so maybe like an hour, not an hour, maybe half an hour away from the strip. And we headed there with the idea of, okay, we need to try to get something that we can wear tonight, which is absurd. What the fuck? How are we want suits picked out and altered for like, was it 6 guys, 5 guys for a dinner tonight? And it's already like 3 p.m. But somehow, one way or another, the the dudes working at the place who picked up the suits managed to make it happen. I don't know who they had working in the back, fucking sewing away like crazy. These are mainly the salesmen and the people up front we were dealing with. But we got those suits, got them delivered to us at whatever hotel room we were at. I think it was maybe even Adam's hotel, which was surprisingly nice considering it was like attached to the Luxor. I don't know what it is, man. I thought the Luxor was really nice, but holy fuck. Worst water pressure I've ever had in a hotel. Like, what the fuck? I don't know. Maybe it's just the rooms I've had, but worst water pressure, terrible. I just don't like the water pressure. It just feels feels like a it kind of feels like a filterless cigarette, the Luxor. Like it burns bright for sure, but I don't know. Um Either way, I think we were at Adam's hotel, which was kind of attached to it, and we were waiting for these suits to show up. It's right down to the line, and I'm panicking because for me, the idea of being late, especially to something where someone is treating me, where someone's doing something for me, is unacceptable. I hate I hate being late. I cannot stand the idea of being late. The idea of being late to me is a complete it's just disrespectful. That's what it is, and at least at the time I couldn't handle that. I remember panicking waiting for these suits. Interior in my head just, oh my god, we're going to be late because the suits aren't here, and then we're going to show up, and we're not going to be able to eat at this really nice restaurant, and then these dudes who were going to treat us to this really nice meal and everything, they're going to be really pissed off, and it's going to be the end of the blah blah blah. And it's like, wait, back up, back up, back up, back up. Maybe talk to the guys here and be like, hey dudes, is it a big deal that we're going to be late? I'm feeling weird about it. That would have been fine, you know. Instead, I was doing this weird thing in my head, like, "Oh, motherfuckers, we're gonna be late." Oh my, how the fuck? Like, here's the thing as well. When you're doing that, you're arguing against yourself, right? And you know how you argue, so you're always going to win. But it's not the you that you want to win that's going to win. It's the you that's going to resort to every tricky little trick and drag you down the roughest path. And that's the one that I was dealing with that time. Just before we went to the Picasso, I was panicking in my head. I just remember panic, panic, panic. I don't know if I was showing it too much, but I remember that being one of the first times where I was like, I don't know if I really like traveling, especially with other people. I really don't like this. This makes me really uncomfortable. I don't like having to rely on being places with other people and other things like this. I really don't like this. Just this conversation I was having. When in reality, it's not that serious and I can handle it. It's just a matter of, motherfucker, I had no idea how to verbalize that or figure that out, right? Either way, it ends up working out. And we might have arrived there late. I can't even remember. I don't even think it was an issue. I think the idea was that we were going to have them meet us downstairs because they were going to pick us up in a limo or something, right? And then take us out there, which was a cool idea. Hell yeah, take us in the limo to the motherfucking, to the really cool restaurant. Hell yeah, treated. Yeah, we're so cool, right? But I think man, I'd have to have someone correct me on this, but in my mind, I think we had to take taxis there or we had to meet them there because of just the way everything worked out for us. Wait, you know what? I think maybe one of the people we were meeting there also was panicking about the time, and then that amplified everything in my mind. He's like, "We can't be late. How could we be late? I can't believe we've done this." I was like, This is exactly what I was thinking. Exactly, bro. What the fuck? It's all fucked up. It's all fucked up." But everything about either the trip or Las Vegas itself, whether it was almost, dying on the freeway or going off of the freeway, or it was, meeting up with some toy company. I don't know if I talked about that, but we ended up having this toy company that was trying to partner up with us to do something or other. I can't remember what it was. That everything's pretty hazy, but I do specifically remember going very far out of our way off of the strip to go and meet these individuals. We get to this small restaurant that has a booth, I want to say, that maybe should fit 4 people, but we have like 6 with us. And I want to say the homie was already eating. And I also want to say that, well, I want to say we ended up eating. I don't think the homie paid for it. I think that was something that we were talking about a bunch. Like, it's weird that this person was trying to meet up with us for a business meeting, but like a meeting specifically to work with us, but they weren't trying to pick up the check. It sounds a little silly, but I think the understanding is there is, well, one, why doesn't this person have the opportunity with their business to write something like this off? Why aren't they using it as an opportunity to be like, oh, okay, I can show these potential clients a decent meal, a decent time here in Las Vegas, blah, blah, blah. We can, have a nice meal together and talk and figure out something. Why didn't that happen? It's just, it was weird. I just remember that being a thing in my mind. I was like, what? What? What a fun time, though. Wandering around Las Vegas with those guys, going go-karting. I want to say we even went and shot weapons, but I know for sure we went go-karting, and that was a fucking blast. Well, it would have been more of a blast if I wasn't like 350 pounds, man. That shit was rough. I remember having a bit of fun and then just feeling really uncomfortable in my seat and really not being able to ride the go-kart as fast as I'd like to because, well, I'm fucking heavy compared to everybody else. So of course I'm not going to be going as fast and everything, and I'm not going to be able to handle it as well. And like, it's just, I don't feel comfortable in the fucking thing at all. It's like, damn. I just remember that feeling of being just so like uncomfortable and ashamed and just being like, I could be having so much more fun right now and not be feeling fucked, but I am and I do. Or but I'm not and I feel fucked. Yeah, I think that's what I was trying to say. It was a very weird time. That was only the first time I'd been in Vegas though. It kind of got me this taste for it though. I mean, I'd always in my mind wanted to play poker ever since, well, for a very long time. The idea of poker was really appealing to me. The idea of gambling in general is very appealing to me. I mean, I think a lot of people can find it appealing. Motherfucking, dude, let's bet money. Let's I think this will happen. You think that'll happen. I think I'm right. You think you're right. Fucking put money on it, dummy. Let's see who's right. I don't know. Do you really think you're right? Put $5 on it. Let's see what's up. I don't know. There's something so appealing to that to me. I remember winning this little home game we had in the final graduating year of high school, and it was just a game of Texas Hold'em, and I'd never really played poker before then. I'd maybe looked up some things. I'd read some books. Like I was just like kind of interested. and I was a fucking nerd and I just loved to research shit, right? So read some poker books, and then I remember going to this friend's house named Taylor, and she had a big poker table downstairs, or maybe it was a pool table. I can't remember what we played on. There's green felt involved. And I remember whooping some ass, getting lucky, but still whooping some ass, kind of knowing what I was doing playing poker against everyone there. And it stuck with me. And then I went to college. And while I was at college, yup, you guessed it, there was a motherfucking poker tournament. And I took that poker tournament down and I won some motherfucking movie tickets to the cheap movie theater in town. It was like $5 worth of movie tickets that I won. Hell yeah, I fucking won it though, bitch. Took everybody down. I got quad eights in one round. I remember that was like one of the sickest. I remember I hit it on the turn. I played it slow, and that was the first time I'd ever thought that. I'm like, there's no way I can lose this hand. I'm just check, baby. Fucking let's see the river. I don't know what's happening right now. And they bet. I thought a little bit, and I raised, and they all went all in, and then it was game over, baby, because I had the nuts. And that felt good. It felt good to have the nuts. It always feels good to have the nuts. I try to walk around like I got the nuts every day, baby. That's how you have to do it. But I had this real drive in me to play poker. And we went to Vegas for the first time, and I couldn't play poker because we didn't go to any 18 plus card rooms. Everywhere else we went was 21 plus because they also served alcohol there. And the waitresses weren't about to card you, right? If you were sitting down playing, you can order whatever the fuck you want as long as you don't seem too sloppy, as long as they haven't cut you off, right? I remember ordering watermelon juice and Red Bull. That was one of just my favorite mixes. Watermelon juice? Bitch, huh? I know watermelon's pretty fucking juicy, but in a glass while I'm playing poker with fucking caffeine and it's all free? All I have to do is tip them? At least that's how it was at the Aria, which was and still is my favorite place to play. I hope to return and play games there again soon, specifically poker. And I don't know about soon. Eventually, that'd be great. But I remember just being so enamored with just the experience, fucking pounding watermelon juice over and over again. With me and poker specifically, I had a weird relationship where when I was at home playing poker, I would try to do bankroll management. I would try to stick to my guns, and I would do well at first. I would do well for a short little while. And then either my outside life or something would go wrong, or I'd feel some sort of type of way. And then I would bleed away and just chuck away my bankroll over a short period of time, right? Basically, a bankroll is all the money you have put aside that's specifically to either gamble with, or for me, it was play poker. You can say like gamble with to like go and like play blackjack or like do roulette. But like the idea of a poker bankroll is like, this is an amount that I'm only going to play poker with. And this is an amount that has to stay kind of within certain boundaries, at least for me. I was like, I want to keep X amount of bankroll or X amount of buy-ins so that I can play and like I can go through some sort of swing if I need to, right? But for some reason, when I was at home, I could never stick to that. I mean, I think it was just complacency. I get tired of it, tired of like playing the way I know I should. I just want to like fucking, there's bullets in the gun, baby. Let's fucking shoot. I don't know what it was. I just need to get in there. I love action. I'm sure everyone can relate to it. If you have a little bit of an adrenaline thing, but I fucking love action. And there's just something about like beating somebody and just knowing that you're making the right move, even though you might not have the cards to back it up. Like, oh, fucking it. Just love it. But when I traveled, when I knew I had like, okay, I'm going to go down to Vegas for like my birthday and Christmas, which is fucking silly. I did that a few times. I went down in December on the 18th or like the 15th. And I'd stay there for a week leading up to my birthday. And then I'd spend my birthday there. And then I'd spend Christmas there because I didn't want to travel and be around other people, that type of thing. There's all sorts of weird things going on there. But I remembered if I knew how long I was staying there, I would plan out how I was going to be kind of spending my time going to different tables, right? I'd be like, all right, we're going to start out. I'm going to look at my favorite rooms, Aria, Bellagio, fucking MGM, something like that. Take a look around, go and see what's going on everywhere, how the action's looking. Because, different months, different things are going on. Different conferences are in town, this, that, the other thing. You got to take a look around. And I'd spend the first, like, few days, depending, right? The first little chunk of time, maybe only spending like 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day playing poker, which might not seem like a lot, but when you're in town all day, you still have to find stuff to do, right? And instead of sitting by the pool, I'd be like, well, I want to go and see if I can kick some fucking ass. Like, that's what I want to do. I got my fucking gloves in my pocket. I got my boxing gloves in my pocket. Let's go find a fight. Let's go see if there's a table set up, See if there's a game going on. And then I'd be ramping up to the middle part, the end part of my time there. And let's say it was the last weekend there. Well, Friday, I would be wanting to, spend as much time over the night. So I'd probably stay up all night Friday, and I probably would have woken up Friday at like noon or 1 o'clock or something like that. So I'd be up from 1 o'clock until, let's say, 9 in the morning sometimes. Maybe, heck, if the game kept going, if the action was still there, maybe I'd just play through Saturday. I remember once I did a Friday, Saturday, sleep half of Sunday, and then take my plane. That was a terrible idea. I really wish I could have just slept through and not like taken that plane. I mean, I could have just been, I think I could have just, it was like a $70 plane ride to go in between LA, Burbank, and like Bob Hope and motherfucking the main Las Vegas terminal. It was absurd. Like $70 round trip. Bitch, huh? It'd be more expensive to drive there. Cost more on gas. Unless you had like a Tesla. Like, what the fuck? Absolutely absurd. Either way, I'll be winding down the end of the weekend, and the idea is, well, I only have this weekend here. Everyone else is probably drinking. They're probably partying. I mean, it might be their weekend here, that they're here for a bachelor party or a conference or whatever it is. So I got to be here while they're playing. And I would just, I try to do, I think I tried to do 72 hours and never made it, but I know I had passed 48 a few times. 48, like once you hit like the 24-hour mark of being awake, at least for me, I started hitting like this. You kind of go into autopilot, but I'm still observing. Like I'm there, almost out of my head, but watching everything that's going on. And I just kind of intervene. I'm like, okay, let's see what's happening here. I was just like sitting there, like playing cards, just looking at the cards, maybe getting a massage or something like that, right? Playing cards, look at my cards, put them down, wait till it's to me, do the thing, get rid of my cards, or oh my God, I should actually play this. Hopefully I'm not revealing that on my face, but I'm thinking, all right, time to go. And then we just, it dials up in my head, and then I'm there. And then instead of throwing away the cards, I just throw in some chips, and I put my hand, or I put the chips or something on the cards to make sure they're covered. And we're in it. And I'm back in. Just instead of being on one bar, we'd go up to 5. And hopefully those last few days, maybe they disappear in a victory, in a victory haze. But hopefully there's some sleep involved. I mean, the nice thing about Vegas is there's also a lot of really, really, really cool shows to see. I mean, the Cirque shows, like Cirque du Soleil, all those things, man, fucking A. Just, I remember actually doing a trip to meet up with a bunch of Minecraft homies who were working on the OP server with me. And I just remember we went to, I think it was Ka, the just the fucking being it's a one thing to like be in a Skype call with some people and be showing everyone a video, right, of something cool. But when you take those same people who you've done that with over and over and over again, and you put all of yourselves in a real life scenario where you just want to be like, yo, do you guys see this shit too? This is fucking dope, right? And you were like, a big part of the reason why everyone's able to be there. It's such a fucking cool feeling. I had a great time doing that, man. I remember that. That was a great time. I was thinking about that the other day because I found like this little photo book. Just it was one of those things where I was looking through my closet and I saw it, and all of a sudden I was like, wait, what? Wait, where? Wait, huh? Oh my God, yes, I remember this. I remember all of this. Just the fucking the little picture, instead of being a picture frame, it all of a sudden became a flip book. I was just taken there. I was transported. Do do. Playing poker in Vegas is a lot different than playing poker other places around the world. It's just unless you have a really good local place, like just a really nice place where the floor people are solid and um, maybe the players are all treated equally, that type of thing. I found that a lot of poker rooms, at least small local ones, it can be an interesting experience. It can be a very interesting experience. In Vegas, I don't know, man. It's just that feeling of like feeling like a fucking high roller, even though I'm playing 1-2. It just you always felt that way. Always felt encouraged to feel that way, at least, or at least I think. I mean, I think they want you to feel that way, so you go ahead and you don't feel so bad about spending a whole bunch of money on this, that, the other thing, the meals, the comps, the bring something up to your room, the hey, let's do steak tonight, baby. I made $30 down at the $1, $2 tables. We're doing steak, and it's like $900 worth of steak delivered up to your room from Jean Georges Steakhouse. Fantastic. I remember once I had headed to Jean Georges, which is an actual steakhouse, a fantastic steakhouse, and I'd headed there on my own. I think I was maybe waiting. I was making a trip on my own to Las Vegas, and I think the next day someone was going to meet me there, and we were going to hang out, right? And the night before, I decided, okay, I just want to go have a nice dinner on my own. I'm gonna relax, kind of easy tonight, but I want to make sure to have this nice dinner because it's hard to sometimes make sure that happens depending on the group you're traveling with and the people you're hanging out with, right? Sometimes it's easier when you're hanging out with different people to just be like, all right, where are we? Yeah, let's eat right there. Instead of like, okay, and we have to be here at 9 o'clock to eat food. I just sometimes I want that experience, so I like to do that. So I make this dinner reservation. I show up dressed nice. I show up alone though, and whoever the hostess was decides, oh, okay, that means I'm gonna put this dude wherever I want. They decide to put me at what must be where people normally are like, what's it called when you set up the fucking forks and knives in the nice cloth shit? They're doing that fucking the cutlery origami. You know what I'm talking about? They're making those fucking they're wrapping up their fucking steak knives with a little rose on top. It's like a little extra, pal. But they sat me at that table right beside where the food got taken in and out. And also, I want to say there was like an area for dishes right there. Like there was a cart or some shit. So I think to myself, okay, this isn't that hot. Not a big fan of this. Waiter comes over. I say, I'm sorry, but I mean, could I be moved? I'm not really digging this table. This isn't the best. I mean, I'd just rather not eat next to this. and well, like where the doors constantly. I'd like to have an okay peaceful time if I'm going to be spending $200 on a solo meal, right? Like fuck, I don't think I was spending $200 unless you're having drinks with it. I mean, I'm sure that would be that, but maybe a couple apps. Um, Try to ask to get moved. Gives me some thing about. I'll see if there's any other available seats. Blah blah blah, that type of thing. Doesn't happen to be the case, so think to myself, oh, okay, okay, I'm out of here. I get a little vindictive, right? I eat my shit, enjoy myself, hit the server with a little tip. I'm not gonna stiff him on it. But I remember getting back to my room and then immediately calling, just whining to the fucking person, but in a stern voice, like, I know this is gonna sound a little absurd, but I do not believe that I was given adequate service tonight. These are all the things that happened. This is why I was wrong. I'm a platinum blah 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 member. How dare, how dare. They're like, oh, I'm staying alone and I'm staying in some like dumb suite or something like that. Like I'm spending way more money than I should be for any reason at all. Like it's so dumb. I there's no reason to do that, right? She's like, "Oh, that like $150 meal. I guess we'll comp that cuz your room is like double that per night, you dumbass." And in my mind I was like, "Yeah, I got this win." And I guess I got a little win. But also at the same time, I was in a situation where I was like, yo, Q, you're a fucking loser. What are you doing, dude? Why are you spending all this money fucking in this situation, being this silly instead of just being a little smarter about it, right? It's just a little reflection at least. That's what reflection Q is saying. Maybe I'm being unkind to myself. I was a young kid. I had no idea what I was doing. And I just had been in a position where I went from living in an apartment building to still be living in an apartment building, but making a nice amount of money from YouTube and everything, man. Like, what do you do with that when you have no idea what to do? Well, you decide to get really expensive hotel rooms and think that you're winning when you manage to get away from one really expensive meal. Kind of annoys me that I do that, so I'm going to try to stop doing that. Being so negative to like the past version of me. I just realized that's what I was doing there. I was being really negative to past Q for no reason. That's just something I gotta. If that's bothering me, I gotta think about it and reflect on it and write down some things I can do to straighten that out. That's all I have to do. Um, like I've been doing for these episodes, I've been making sure to write down some notes, but I haven't been trying to stick to too much. I've just been trying to make sure that what I'm saying on here is honest and fun, and I'm just trying to have a really great time. You know, that's my main goal right now. I Maybe I need to angle that though, and make my main goal to make this a maybe I need to angle that now to making it a solid production, if that makes sense. Need to add on a little bit. Maybe need to. Well, I have some ideas actually, but I'm gonna get started on those. I wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on or what has been going on Twitch and everything real quick. Uh, we have been streaming a whole bunch, having a great time. I've been finally getting back to doing regular stuff, regular streams. And actually, this upcoming week, I haven't announced it yet, but I need to. But Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'll be streaming every day. I need to put up the times. I'm thinking something like I'm going to try to stick to a stable time of 3 p.m. Mountain Time to be my stable live time so that I can start then and go until I'd like. And then here's the fun part. I can do 2 streams in a day. Why not? If I want to hit a 5-hour stream from 3 to 8, and then maybe hit something at 11 to 2, right? I can do that super easy. I did that the other night and it felt really nice. I think I can do something like that, especially if, maybe I transform one of those into a recording session instead, because I would like to get some actual videos going. I know people have been requesting that. I want to get on that. need to do the highlights too. I'm trying to talk less about what I need to be doing and what is happening. We're having a great time over there. Just got done doing 7 Days to Die for the first time. That was last night. I think that's going to be happening more. And by think, I mean that is going to be happening more. As long as everyone's having a good time, though. I was talking about this a little bit on my own on stream. I was saying, when it comes to me on stream, I don't necessarily have a good time because I'm playing a game. Any individual game, yeah, I can be like specifically having a great time playing that game or because I'm on stream playing that game. But if people aren't digging it in the chat, if there isn't a good energy about it, then it takes something away from it for me. So, first and foremost, I like us all to be having a good time. I'm not going to play something I don't enjoy unless there's a comedic value to it, where it's like, oh my God, this is a horror game and Quentin hates horror games because he's a big fucking baby. Let's play a horror game, right? Unless there's something like that, I'm not going to try to put myself in a situation where I'm doing something I don't want to be doing. I've been doing that, or I have done that before, and it made me go crazy. So let's try not to do that, right? I'll start showing y'all more. I've been posting a lot more on social media, and I'm happy about that. A lot more specifically on Instagram. But the idea of like highlights and whatnot, that's all coming together more. We're doing more clips on the stream, and I'm enjoying it a lot. I think I'm going to wrap it up, though. Thank you again if you've been listening, or maybe if this is your first time and you're enjoying. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I hope you're having a good day. Make sure to wear a condom if you can wear a condom. Just wherever you go, it's probably a good idea. Wear a mask, and keep your chin up, your nose down, your teeth in your mouth. My name is Quentin Juno. This was the LAYT Podcast number 10. I hope you had a nice day. Thanks for stopping by.